So, inner and outer rocker panels. This has been quite an education. Drilling out spot welds and separating two pieces of metal. As I learned about it, you would purchase what's called a spot weld cutter bit, which you put into a power tool, which is this guy little here. He's got a pressure spring-loaded center point. You drill a pilot hole in the center of what would be the weld to keep it from wandering back and forth when you go to put pressure on it. And then this actually cuts through that weld on the outsides of the welds enough to be able to break loose that weld and actually peel that layer off of the layer underneath it. In theory, that works exactly the way it's supposed to. The challenges is that if you don't get exactly, and you can kind of see here, if you don't get exactly that center of that weld, you're going to leave some welded material on one side and it's going to resist peeling back. The other thing that I think is interesting that also is more challenging on a convertible is you have the inner rocker and the inside of the car. You have the outer rocker, and then you have a center additional layer that is not present on a coupe or fastback. But you have this whole other panel in between the two that gives it additional strength. So you have 3 sets of steel that are being bonded together with a pinch weld. And my thinking is that the pinch welder has to be held in place longer to fuse all 3 of these pieces together, which means that I believe that the welds may, in fact, on a convertible be larger or wider and more bonding area than a coupe or a fastback, which is where I think I had trouble. Also, obviously, you have to guess in order to try to save that outside material and not put a hole in it, you have to try to guess if you're deep enough to be able to stop and then start peeling back. Well, even if it looks like you're deep enough, technically you're not totally through both layers. So this has been a real challenge to me. I ended up grabbing a larger bit from the back side and cutting through so that I wouldn't miss where the welds were, and cutting through both sides in a larger piece. And it still looks like, you notice here, I've cut through in a much larger circle than it originally was, and those 2 pieces have still not come apart. Here is the same way. So there is more going on in here just than a spot weld this big, even if it looks this way. In fact, if you look at this, it looks like that spot weld, just that one itself, which didn't go all the way to the back side, these 2 pieces together, is actually a little bit larger than this. So I'm still going to use this, but I'm going to apply a larger bit. Now, I was using just a regular drill bit, this guy here. You can see all the shavings on it. And it was suggested to me that I go with a cobalt bit. So I grabbed these off of the interwebs there on Amazon. And you can see it looks like it's talking about, different kinds of steel that you would use this for as opposed to a regular bit. Now, I don't know if the one I was using cobalt or not, it didn't say, but this one I got specifically on a recommendation from the Mustang Restorations group. So we're going to try that out and see how that works. And just as a footnote, this is what the community is about. This is what sharing information is about. I learned something, I try to apply something. It didn't work the way I thought it would in my application. I asked questions. I got an answer that was different from what I got previously. And now I'm working in another avenue to try to resolve this particular issue for my project. You are going to have ups and downs, successes and failures when you do something like this. But the good news is that everybody has had ups and downs when they've done this type of project. So the people that I learned from in the past, that passed that information on to me on YouTube, that I learned from, that I'm applying and trying something different because it didn't work in my instance. Now I'm trying something different, and I will be able to pass that on forward so that the information goes out there. We're very much a you can do it mission statement rather than you can't. We believe that anybody with the desire, patience, and the time and the money can take on a project like this, no matter how difficult, and turn out something that they can be proud of, that they can be happy to have in their family. And really, you're driving your retirement, because these cars are only going to get more valuable. To that end, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel. There's no cost, there's no tricks, there's no tracking of your data, nothing other than just knowing what videos you like and don't like, so I can produce content that is valuable to you and valuable to the community, and you can use to then take into your project with your family, and try to be successful and have some good family time that you would certainly want to have with your family. So please like and subscribe, give a thumbs up, comment if you like. If you come up with another solution for dealing with these spot welds on a convertible, I'm more than welcome to take that information, because I'm learning all the time. That's what we're about. We're about learning, figuring out what didn't work, figuring out what does, and taking that and moving it forward. So we're super grateful here at Project 21F to have you as part of the community, to have you as a viewer. Like and subscribe the video, see us on social media, and help us continue to be able to provide more content, make this a little self-funded project. I mean, it's not ever going to be a lot of money anyways, but it helps pay for drill bits and towels and gloves and supplies and things of that nature. It's just me in my garage. It's not any kind of massive world-dominating empire. It's just a guy building a car. And if you think that you're interested in being a guy building a car too, I can guarantee you there are people that want to help you accomplish that goal. So from Project 20F, we're certainly grateful and happy to have you along the ride, and it is on to the next adventure.